We're talking a little bit here about the problem with parenting kids with inventive ADHD minds is that they often struggle with seeking out the novelty of misbehavior. So one of the running jokes is you put 5 kids with ADHD in a sandbox and you identify the one with ADHD because when you're done he'll be the only one left in the sandbox because he has impulsively taken the other kids' toys or thrown sand in their eyes or things like that. So how do you, as a parent, handle that? And if you read my book, there's something I call the criteria of engagement. It's what makes the ADHD mind driven towards certain activities. And one of those criteria is something called novelty, okay? So novelty means newness. So the way that you remove novelty from an activity, such as throwing sand in someone's eyes or stealing their toy, is you give a consistent response, which means every single time that they throw sand, the exact same thing happens. They have to go sit in timeout. They don't get to play in the sandbox anymore. They lose the toy. The same thing happens every single time. And if that happens every single time, it's not going to take very long before all the novelty is sucked out of the activity of throwing sand in somebody's eyes or taking their toys or hitting them, whatever it may be. And so that is how you parent a kid with ADHD if you want to exhaust or get rid of some of their behaviors that you don't like, because there is an impulsive aspect to ADHD and it manifests sometimes more strongly in kids, although it can be strong in adults too if they haven't learned to overcome those impulses. The impulses do not make you engage in the behavior, they only give you an increased tendency to engage in the behavior, and we can overcome our tendencies, we can overcome our impulses as adults. As kids, that's a little bit harder, and the way you can help your child is, like I said, consistency, consistency, consistency. The exact same thing happens every time. Not this thing of like, well, sometimes I yell at him, sometimes I let him get away with it, sometimes I spank them, sometimes they take their toy away. No, it needs to be the same thing every time. And after a while, the kid will get it, hopefully. If ADHD is the only thing going on eventually, the novelty will be out of the activity. It's not going to be exciting and new to find out what's mom going to do this time. Is she going to yell at me this time? Is she going to spank me this time? Nope, same thing happens every time. Lost the toy out of the sandbox and then timeout. This is getting boring. I think I'll quit doing that. And eventually, they'll stop. You got to remember too, sometimes parents with kids with ADHD think, well, I don't think I want to discipline my kid because they can't help it, they can't help their behavior. Well, you know, there's a reason why your child doesn't stick their head in the fireplace or put their head under the back tire of a car or things like that, because your child's not stupid. They just want to find out what happens. And some things they don't know what's going to happen. I wonder what happened if I slap this person. I wonder what will happen if I take their stuff. They want to see what's going to happen. And so you need to discipline them. In fact, you might even need to discipline them a little bit more strictly and more harshly than you might a normal kid, because you need to help them understand this is the consequence for this action. If you slap the bull on the butt, you will get a punishment. Now, I'm not saying you should hurt your kid or anything like that. That's not what I'm about. But the point is that you get a punishment. But there's a consequence. There's a reason why kids don't stick their heads in the ovens or underneath the back of cars. Hopefully this hasn't happened to anybody that's watching this video. Because they're intelligent. They know what the consequence would be. And so let them know what the consequence will be for misbehavior. And they can learn it. When I was a kid, I got consistent punishment when I didn't do the things I was supposed to do. That was very good for me. It helped me. I believe it helped me throughout my life. So don't shy away from that. Remember, consistency.